what better way to celebrate International Women's Month than with the Boylan Sisters? I feel like I'm just standing with greatness. It's so good to see you guys. How are you doing?
Good.
I mean, I feel like you're just this power team of, creating a movie a year for the past 6 years. Is that what you said? You've been hard at work. Tell me about some of these projects. I know I've seen them and heard of them. So tell me about them.
Yeah. We've got 6 faith-based movies, one coming out on March 25th on Amazon called The Greatest Inheritance. But we started from humble beginnings with Catching Faith, Catching Faith 2, both available on PureFlix.
And how long ago was Catching Faith?
That we shot it around 2013.
Okay.
And
so much has happened.
So much. Catching Faith 1, Catching Faith 2, Wish for Christmas, and then we have a teen girl movie that just came out in 2020 called Switched, about 2 girls who switch bodies.
I've seen that
awesome.
everywhere, and it looks so cute.
It is. It's totally Mean Girls meets Freaky Friday, but like super clean and with a faith filled.
Yeah. So what else? What other projects do you have coming up this year?
Yes, we have The Greatest Inheritance. It stars Mina Suvari and Julia White about an estranged family that all returns home to bury their mother, but really to get their inheritance. And then they find out that their mother has buried the deed to the estate somewhere on the property, and she left them clues and challenges that they have to do as a family.
Stop, so they tear up the property.
Oh yeah. It's like Knives Out, but instead of who did it, it's where is it?
That's so fun.
Really fun.
And I love your heart. You were telling me a little bit about your heart behind the content that you create. Obviously, it's faith-based, but also you're really passionate about getting women at the forefront. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, we really looked at the faith-based landscape and felt like women's stories weren't portrayed the way that we wanted to be portrayed, and especially faith and in real life. And so I'm a mom of 3, and so loved adding that element of, first of all, what do I want to binge watch with my kids? And then second of all, what does it mean to be a faith-filled woman, trying to raise kids, trying to do your job, trying to be a good wife, and what does that look like? And so that is really infused in all of our storylines.
I love that. And I know before you were in the faith-based world, you were creating secular content. So what was it that kind of drew you to this, or maybe on your heart to kind of make the shift?
Yeah, well, it was actually, I really feel like God called us into it because I was doing horrors and thrillers. I had been already in the industry for 13 years and it wasn't where I was going. And then I had a meeting with my sales agent who had rep my last movie, and he said, you know what, you should be making faith-based films. And I was like, whoa. But then I really felt like God was like, this is what I want you to do. And I called Andrea, and like we said, we looked at the landscape, and there really wasn't women being portrayed in the leading roles. And we actually told our EP that we wanted to we had to have football in the movie. Catching Faith had to have football. And we were like, great, well, we're going to make it about a woman. And he was like, oh, you can't do that because there's no numbers in the marketplace to back up a female-driven faith-based film. And we were like, well, we think that's because no one's doing it. So if we do it, we could. And then that movie went on to become the top 5 consistent selling movie for the distribution company. And they asked for a sequel, and Catching Faith 2 is now out. So
that's incredible. Because also it's just like ironic the title of the film and the amount of faith that you guys had to have in order to be like, no, there's a need for this in the market. You knew, and I think that just, it speaks volumes when God puts something on your heart. There's good ideas and there's God ideas. And yes, there can be great ideas that are breathed by teams of very talented people, but when God puts something on your heart, it's for a reason. It's because he has ordained you to do that, and he's going to bless it. And that is just, I love seeing that. It's so inspiring to hear your story, how you guys, and just, we go back a little bit and just seeing the journey that you've been on since the last time I saw you. It's just, it's so inspiring. And I'm so proud of all that you guys are doing and so excited for all that's to come.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we just wrapped another teen girl movie called Identity Crisis. In Phoenix, Arizona. We shot at Grand Canyon University, and it's about a shy science whiz in college who struggles with imposter syndrome and not feeling good enough, and she figures out how to clone herself to create the perfect identity and send her off to do all the things she's afraid of. In the meantime, finding out that God already created her the perfect version of herself.
Wow, I love that.
It's so fun. It's so adorable, with a big heart of our identity lies in Christ, and we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we want every young girl to know that.
Imposter syndrome, you just said that, and it's such a thing in society these days. And I've heard that it's something that women struggle with way more than men. It's exponentially more women struggle with imposter syndrome than men.
Well, I love that you said that, because the dean of the college that we worked with, he had read the script and he was like, I am so moved by this. I've been in academics for 40 years and I see this time after time that men come in ready to raise their hand, ready to try, but girls are timid. They feel like they have to be 100% ready before they'll answer the question or even give it a try, which makes them fall behind because they feel like they have to be perfect. So this movie encourages young girls to just fake it till you make it. Just try it.
Yeah. And I think it doesn't matter how old you are. Like, we're encouraging young girls, but I have to say, like, when this journey of making faith-based films began, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I had to say yes. And I'm like, I've never written a screenplay before, never made a movie, and now look at what happened. But we have to say yes. And a lot of times it's sort of that fake it till you make it, to get the courage to just step in and do it, try.
And God prepares you for that.
That's right.
He's like gifted you with all of those things just for the right time. So you guys do all the writing as well for the screenplays and everything?
We write it, we produce it, we take it from conception to completion, and then we sell it to distribution companies. Andrea does all the production design. She's a production designer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Such a talented family. That's incredible.
We do it all, and it's great. It's good to do it all, because then we can keep the vision of our script till the end and make sure that it stays intact of what the story we wanted to tell.
Exactly. You control the narrative of what you're putting out there.
We do.
So I mean, you guys have done so much. You've had so much success. If there is something that you see, like another dream for you, what would be the next thing that you guys are hoping or praying to accomplish?
Oh, what do you?
Well, we definitely want to be the sisters in the faith-based space, and specifically we want to be a brand that is known that moms and families can trust, and that young women can get an inspirational message as well as having a ton of fun watching our content.
Yeah, we want to give the Kendrick brothers and Irwin brothers like a run for their money. We want everyone to know the Boylan Sisters, and and also I pursued acting for a long time. I'm sure you know this from our history.
Yes, totally.
And I just booked The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I saw that you did that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
And even though I love writing and producing, I'm still like, God, if you want to, I just auditioned for The Chosen, and like that would be amazing. And I'm still haven't let go of the dream of being able to infuse acting with making stuff. So that's another dream that I'd still love to bring it back around, because I let it go 10 years ago. And it'd be really great.
It's gonna
be great
next year.
to
You're
do
gonna
that
be here
too.
talking about how you're on The Chosen.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yes,
Put it out there, please God.
I don't know how in all of the time of everything else that you do,
we do so
you'll be able to do it.
I know. She's a clinical licensed social worker. She has like a full-time job, and she makes movies
and doing and movies.
And writes all the
I
companion
was going to just
materials.
mention that, like something that's really important. We want to start conversations too, and so we always have companion material, workbooks, activities, family guides, like movie guides to go along with all of our movies, so that you can actually continue the conversation around your dining table afterwards.
Yeah, because you guys are tackling issues that are so important today. So it's great that you're giving families the tools to have those conversations.
Yeah, and for Switch, she even wrote a high school curriculum. And we just had a high school in Massachusetts do it, where they got the movie, showed it to the school, and then they all did the Lead with Love journals of what does it look like to lead with love, and anti-bullying, and don't be mean. We don't, So she does that also in her spare time.
It's important to us too that social media is not going anywhere. So instead of saying, "Oh, social media is so bad and evil, and let's not touch it," let's take it back and let's equip people to be able to do something really positive and powerful with it.
And that's the heart behind TUVU, which is I'm so glad that you said that. It's all about sharing what matters to you and giving people a voice without fear of being silenced. I think there's so much censorship these days for one side or the other side, and we wanted to create a platform where you can sincerely share what matters to you and not be censored, not be silenced, and truly have free speech.